Welcome back. So still on trigonometry. Now we are moving to trigonometric ratios. Now, given a right angle triangle, now we have the angle 90 degree, we have angle theta, and we have angle alpha. Now, given a right angle triangle, this side, this angle here is what? We call it A. Why this angle here we call it B? Why this angle here we call it C? Now, if here is angle A, then this side here is what? Is the small letter A. If here is angle A, then the side facing that angle is this is the what? Is the smaller side of that angle. So which is what? A. Now, if here is angle B, then this side facing this angle B is what? Is the smaller B. Do you get it? Then if here is angle C, then this side here facing this angle C is the what? Is the smaller C. Is the smaller C. So before we come to SOHCAHTOA now look at it. Inside this right angle triangle, you know that theta plus alpha is equals to what? 90 degree. The sum of these two sides is equals to what? 90 degree, right? Inside this right angle triangle, theta plus alpha is equals to 90 degree. If I make theta here the solve formula, theta will be equals to what? If I make theta the solve formula, I'll carry plus alpha to the other side. So that will be 90 degree. When plus alpha across, that will be what? Minus alpha, right? And from this same place, if I make alpha the solve formula, I'll take theta to the other side. Alpha will be equals to what? That will be 90 degree minus theta. Do you get? So theta plus alpha is equals to what? Is equals to 90 degree. Do you understand what I just explained now? If here is the angle, if here is the bigger angle, which is angle A, then the side facing that angle is the smaller what? Is the smaller A. If here is angle B, then the side facing that angle is the smaller B. If here is angle C, then the side facing that angle is what? Smaller C. So the sum of theta plus alpha will be equals to what? 90 degree. So if I make theta the solve formula, theta will be equals to, when I take alpha here, it becomes minus. That's 90 degree minus alpha. Then if I take theta to the other side, alpha will be equals to 90 degree minus theta. Now coming to SOHCAHTOA. You all know SOHCAHTOA, right? So yeah, let's talk about sine theta. When we have sine theta, this SOHCAHTOA means when we have sine is simply what? This O is called what? Opposite over this H is called hypotenuse. Do you understand? When we talk about sine, sine is simply opposite over what? Hypotenuse. Now let's come to cos. Cos is simply what? This is what? This A is what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So why? You see, cosine is called what? Cosine is called adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. Then let's come to tan. Tan theta will now be equals to what? What is this O? This O is opposite over the A is what? Adjacent. So please don't forget this SOHCAHTOA. Whenever you hear about SOHCAHTOA means sine. The sine of that angle is what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. Why cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse? Why tan is what? Opposite over adjacent. Do you understand? So that is that about that. Now let's do for two angles. Now we want to derive something for two angles. Let's derive for angle theta, and we also derive for angle alpha. Now let's come for angle theta. Meaning, let's start with sine theta. Now, what do we call sine? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, right? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Now, look at it. This is the theta here that I'm dealing with. I'm talking about sine theta. This is the theta here. Now, what do we call opposite? I said opposite is the side facing that angle. Opposite is that side facing the angle of what you are dealing with. Now, we are dealing with this angle theta because we call it sine theta. And we said sine is what? Opposite over hypotenuse, right? So, which side is facing this angle? This is the side facing the angle, which is what? Small letter B, right? So that will be B. Then over. Then what's our hypotenuse? Our hypotenuse is the longest side. Which one is the longest side here? Which is what? A, right? So that's what? Our sine theta is what? B over A. Do you get how we got sine now? So now let's come for cos. Cos theta. Cos theta. Cos is what? Adjacent over hypotenuse, right? Adjacent over hypotenuse. Now, what is your adjacent? I said adjacent is the what? Is the base, that is the side that carries the base of that your angle. The side. This is the side that contains the base of. I'm dealing with this theta. So the base of this angle theta is what? C. Small letter C. So that's what? C over. What is my hypotenuse? It's still the longest side, which is what? A. So my cos is what? C over A. C over A. Now let's come for tan. Tan is what? Tan theta is what? Opposite over adjacent. Now what is the opposite of this theta? The side that is opposite to the angle theta is what? B over what is the adjacent? C. So that is B over C. Do you all understand how we got all this? Now let's go again for, let's say for angle alpha. Let's go for angle alpha. Now this is angle alpha up. So let's start with sine first. Sine alpha. What will be sine alpha? We said sine is what? Opposite over hypotenuse, right? So what is the side that is facing this angle? Which side is facing this angle? Which is C over, what is the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse never change, still the longest side. That's C over A. Do you understand? Then let's go for cos alpha. Now this is the angle alpha. What is the base that contains the base with the right angle? So you understand? Adjacent is the base that contains, is the side that contains the, that carries the base of the angle and also the what? That carries the angle and also the right angle. So which side is that? So that is B. That's B over A. It does not change. So then the last one, which is tan theta, and tan alpha. Tan alpha is now what? What is opposite? Opposite remains what? C over what is our adjacent? B. That's C over B. So if you look at both angles now, if you will notice that sin theta is equivalent to what? Cos alpha. Sin theta is equivalent to what? Cos alpha. Cos theta is equivalent to what? Sin alpha. Right? Cos theta is equivalent to what? Sin alpha. Why tan theta is the inverse of what? Of tan alpha. Sin theta, tan theta is the inverse of what? Tan alpha. But we are coming to that, sha. Now, do you understand how we go for angle theta and angle alpha? Now, going further, okay, let me just put it here. Now, another way to just write tan theta, tan theta can simply be sin theta over cos theta. Another way to say tan theta can simply be what? Sin theta over what? Over cos theta. Do you understand? So let's check. Let's see if we're going to have B over C. What do we call sin theta? What do we get for sin theta? That's B over A, right? And over what is cos theta? That's C over A, right? You know, when you do the mathematics, let's just do the mathematics. That's B over A divided by C over A, right? That will be B over A. When you change it to multiplication, this goes up, this comes down. That's A over C. This cancels this. So what do we have? Tan theta is equals to what? B over C. UC is also equivalent to each other. So another way to write tan theta is what? Can simply be sin theta over cos theta. Now, why cot theta? Another way to write cot theta is what? Is cos theta over sin theta. Another way to write cot theta is what? Cos theta over sin theta. What is our cos? Our cos is C over A. Then what is our sine? Our sine is B over A. Then when you do the mathematics, what will be your answer? Your answer will be what? C over B, right? Our answer will be C over B. If you do the mathematics, that's C over A divided by B over A. Then that will be C over A times A over B, right? So that's C over B. Now, that is that for cot theta. Do you understand? And another way to say cot theta can also simply be what? The inverse of tan theta. Look at it. Cot theta can also simply be the inverse of what? Tan theta. Look at it. What's our tan theta? B over C. You know, when you say 1 divided by B over C, when you do it, that will be C over B. Is it not still the same thing? So, another way to say cot theta is what? Is 1 over what? Tan theta. But mostly we use it as what? Cos theta over sin theta. So, please don't forget all these formulas. Now, let's go again for sec theta. Sec theta. Another way to say sec theta is 1 over cos theta. Another way to say sec theta is 1 over what? Cos theta. So that will be giving us 1 over, what's our cos theta? That's C over A. So what will be our answer? Our answer will be what? Our answer will be A over C. A over C. Now let's go for cosec theta. So another way to say cosec theta is 1 over what? sine theta. Another way to say cosec theta is 1 over what? Sine theta. So what do we have? That will give us 1 over what was sine theta? B over A. So what will be our answer? A over B. A over B. So please don't forget all these formulas. If you want to pass maths very well, you must know nothing less than 70 formulas offhand. If you want to pass maths very well, you must know it offhand. Not like you will just cram and you'll be mixing them up. So if you want to pass maths very well, you must know nothing less than 70 formulas. 70 is even too small for some people. You can know 150, you can know 200, you can know 300 formulas offhand, but the least you must know is 70 formulas. The least you could know is what? 70. You can know 100, you can know 150, you can know 200, you can know 300, you can know 500 formulas offhand. You have to know it, not to cram. So all these things will actually help you. Not even only in trigonometry, they also help you in what? In differentiation, because we use it in differentiation. So just know that another way to write tan theta is what? Sin theta over cos theta. Another way to write cot theta is cos theta over sin theta. Another way to write sec theta is 1 over cos theta. And another way to write cosec theta is 1 over sin theta. Don't worry, don't go anywhere. Make sure you watch the next video, and do well to like this video and share this video. Thank you.